Hello and welcome. Today we are going to see how the switching IC of an SM base is working. Switching IC or PWM IC is working and how it is creating a constant voltage at the output of an SMBS. The AC is coming. We are using a rectifier, that means a AC to DC converter, that means a bridge rectifier and a capacitor. By using that, we are rectifying the AC to a DC, constant DC, and this DC is connected directly through to the primary of the transformer, and it is connected to a transistor or MOSFET inside a switching IC. This is the PWM IC. Inside it there is a transistor or MOSFET, and this point is called drain pin of the IC, and this point is called ground pin. It is connected to through a resistor to the ground, and this point, when the transistor is on, the current is flowing through this resistor and create a voltage, and this voltage is called I-sense voltage. I-sense, and there is also a pin called I-sense pin. And how the transistor is on, there is a flip-flop is inside the IC, and this flip-flop is on and off this transistor, and inside it there is a clock. This clock is used to set the flip-flop. Set means to on the transistor, and there is also another pin called reset. This pin is used to reset off the transistor. Now there is also called feedback pin. That means we are taking the output voltage feedback from the output to this pin, and as usual there is a VCC pin. This pin is used to in order to power the IC. This pin is needed, VCC pin. There is also called compensation pin or error pin. This pin is feedback pin. This pin is connected to a comparator, and the other pin of the comparator is connected to a reference voltage. If we say that if the reference voltage 2 volt, this 2 volt is compared with the feedback voltage and create an error voltage. This error voltage is called the compensation voltage. This error voltage is called compensation voltage. Usually this pin of the compensation pin is directly connected. This pin is connected between this point and ground. Also the VCC pin is connected also through a capacitor between VCC and ground. This is also connected from this pin through a capacitor. It is connected. Now we will look at the secondary. We are checking a flyback circuit. This is ground pin. When the transistor is on, current is flowing in through this to the ground, and energy is saved inside the transformer. This is the transformer, and there is also secondary, and a diode is connected, and there is a capacitor, output capacitor. Now how the output feedback is taken. When the transistor is on, energy is saved in the inductor, and after reaching a particular value, this transistor will be off. How it is turning off the transformer we will discuss later. So when the current is reached a particular value, this transistor will be off. When the transistor is on, the polarity will be plus and minus here. When the transistor is off, and the output polarity will be this, and this winding are wounded in opposite direction. That means when it is plus and minus here, this will be minus and plus here, and when it is off and reverses its polarity. When it become minus and plus here, this will become plus here and minus here. When it polarity will be like this diode will become forward biased and charges the capacitor. If there is a load is also connected, it will charge the capacitor and also the load. So now how we taking the feedback voltage? So this is the output voltage. If we want 10 volt, say a 10 volt, we are using a resistive network. This is the resistor and another resistor, and we are connecting a resistor here and another resistor. In parallel to that, we are there is a pin octocoupler. There is the octocoupler, and inside the octocoupler there is an LED. This is the octocoupler, and inside it there is also a transistor, octocoupler transistor. The energy for this point is taken from this side through a resistor, and also we are connecting a resistor here to the ground pin. And there is also, this is called TL431. It's a zener, precision zener. When this voltage reaches 10 volt, the TL431 has a gate voltage of 2.5 volt. When it reaches 2.5 volt, this will be act as a short circuit. In order to get to 10 volt here, if we say that we want 2.5 volt here, when it reaches 10 volt, when the output reaches 10 volt, the voltage at this point has to be 10 volt, 2.5 volt. So that if we select 2.5k resistor, a 2.5k resistor here and 7.5k resistor here, that means when the voltage is 10 volt, the voltage drop across this will be 7.5 volt, and the voltage drop across this will be 2.5 volt. So the total will be 10 volt. So when it reaches 10 volt, this pin will come 10 volt, and this will act as a short circuit. So more current will flow through this LED. When more current is flowing through this LED, this is an octocoupler. So this base of the transistor inside the octocoupler will be get forward bias, and more current flows through it. That means more voltage will be developed across this point. So this point is connected to this feedback point. This is the internal circuit of the PWM IC. This is the feedback pin, and feedback pin it is connected to the negative point of a comparator, and the positive point is connected to a reference voltage. If the feedback pin, as we said that if the feedback voltages increases, it will both will compare. As it is increasing, this is increasing, the error is very less. That means the error will be very less. That means this error, this is the compensation error. That means the voltage at this capacitor decreases. When the voltage at this point increases, the voltage at the capacitor decreases. That means the voltage at this point decreases. This is called the error voltage or compensation voltage. This error voltage is combined with this I-sense pin. When the secondary is on and more voltage appear at this point, this voltage also increases. When this voltage increases, the error voltage decreases. The error voltage decreases. Error voltage or compensation voltage decreases. When the error voltage or compensation voltage decreases, and again the transistor is on, at the next pulse of the flip-flop, again the transistor is on. When again the transistor is on, as we said earlier that now the error voltage is very less. That means the output is not taking any power. So the error voltage is very less, and when again the transistor is on, when the transistor is on and the current through the primary of the transformer increases linearly like this, it will take a short time. If the error is very low, it will take very short time for this current to overcome the error voltage. So the transistor will be on only for that time. If the error is very low, that means the transistor has to be on for a very little time. If the error is high, that means if we are connecting an output load, any output load, and it also take power, then the voltage at this point began to decrease. When the voltage at this point began to decrease, it will not act as a short circuit, and the current through it will be decreased. When the current through it will be decreased, the voltage at this point will be low. When the voltage at this point is very low, the error voltage increases. When the voltage at this point is very low, is 0, this is 3. If we take this is 0 and this is 3, that means 3 volt. The error voltage will be very high. When the error voltage will be very high, the transistor has to be on for more time. Then only it can supply that much energy. The error voltage is very high. If this is the error voltage, then, and this is the inductor current, then the inductor current, the transistor has to be, now the transistor has to be on for more time. Earlier only for this time, now it has to on for more time. So according to the power taken, the transistor the on time of the transistor has to be more or less. Now we will check how the PWM switching IC it is working. When we on the power supply, a DC voltage is coming at this point, and when DC voltage is coming at this point, we are connecting this point firstly through a resistor to this pin. That means the VCC capacitor get charged, and the switching IC began to work, and a clock pulse is created. When the clock pulse time will be very short, on for only little time. When it is on, the transistor will be on, and energy is stored inside the transformer. And when it is off, the stored energy is released to the output section, and the voltage at this point increases. And when the voltage reaches, if we are taking 10 volt, cross the 10 volt, it will be on. And when it will be on, more current flows through the LED inside the optocoupler, and this transistor inside the LED become forward bias, and more current flows through it, and a voltage develops across it. When voltage is developed across it, the error voltage decreases. When the error voltage decreases, this will be compared with when the transistor is again on. When the clock is again on, the transistor is again on. When the transistor is again on, as we said that the error voltage, this is the error voltage, this white line is the error voltage, is compared with the I-sense voltage. This is the I-sense voltage. If more compared with the I-sense voltage, and the transistor will off only it crosses the error voltage. The Zener diode is also connected to this. That means if the error voltage is very big, how the error voltage become very big? the error voltage will become very big when the feedback voltage is very less. When the feedback voltage is very less means the voltage at this point will be no. There will be no voltage at this point. That means if it is acting as a short circuit at every cycle, there will be no voltage at this point. When there will be no voltage at this point, if the comparator op-amp voltage has a limit of 5 voltage, maximum 5 voltage, then this point will be at 5 voltage. The maximum voltage will be at 5 voltage. And there is a resistor divider network. If this point is at 5 volt, we are setting a resistive divider network. If we have a 3K and 2K resistor, that means this will be splitted. This will be, if 5 volt is there, 3 volt will be doped across this resistor and only 2 volt will be available. So this 2 volt, if we take this Zener diode voltage as 2 volt, this Zener diode voltage will not allow this point voltage to be more than 2 volt. That means it will be always less than 2 volt. So this voltage is compared with the Isense voltage. The short circuit protection is available by setting this Zener diode. So how it is working is that when the VCC point get enough voltage, a clock pulse is created. This clock pulse is used to turn on the transistor. When the transistor is turned on, energy is stored inside the transformer, and when it is off, the energy is transferred to the output. When the voltage of the output crosses the 10 volt, more current flows through it and the feedback voltage increases. When the feedback voltage increases, the error voltage decreases. When the error voltage decreases, again when it is on, it is compared with this current, the Isense current, and if the error voltage is low, the Isense current has take only little time to cross the error voltage. So the transistor will be on for little time. If the error voltage is high, it will take more time for the Isense current to cross the error voltage. So the transistor will be on for more time. That means it can supply more power depending upon the output voltage, but it also protects the short circuit by connecting a Zener diode. That means the error voltage should have a maximum value, 2 volt. This is the maximum error voltage. Beyond that, if it goes beyond that, then the Zener diode will short circuit it and maintain this 2 volt. So it will not allow a large current to flow it. When the Isense pin crosses the error voltage, this will reset the pin. That is how it is off. The transistor is on by the clock pulse and it check the error voltage and it will be off until this Isense crosses the error voltage. When the Isense pin crosses the error voltage, this will be reset and the transistor will be off. This is on and this pulse is on at every time, at each time. That means at every 10 microsecond time, the clock pulse will be on for only 0.1 microsecond. If the frequency is 100 kilohertz, if we say that the frequency is 100 kilohertz, the clock pulse will be on for 100 of at the time. If the frequency is 100 kilohertz, the time period of the signal will be, this is how the frequency will be. From this point to this point, this is the one time period. This is 1 by 100 kilohertz. This is the time, that is around 10 microsecond. That means the total time is 10 microsecond. And the transistor, the clock pulse will be 100 times, 100, not 100 times, 100th of the 10 microsecond. 100th of the 10 microsecond means 0.1 microsecond. That clock pulse will be on for only 10 microsecond. That means the clock pulse will be on for 10 microsecond means the transistor will be on for only 0.1 microsecond, and check whether it is off or not. If it is not resetting, it is continue to be on until it get again reset. This is how a PWM IC is creating a constant voltage and the required current for a power supply.